want to start out twofold, thanking the fans for continuing to come out and support us over the Thanksgiving holiday, and congratulate Missouri. We knew they had a really good football team, physical football team, and they played a really good game today, and obviously we did not. But congratulations to them, and they were a physical team, and running back's really good, and we had a hard time, couldn't stop him, and I'll be ready for questions.
Sam, could you fill us in on? It looked like KJ looked like his left knee, and then obviously that was Jacoby's first extended time. Just I know it was rough sledding for him against that defense. Just could you fill us in on KJ and what you thought of Jacoby's?
Well, KJ hyperextended a knee. I don't think that it's going to be bad. Matter of fact, he was trying to come back, and this, that, and another. We gave it until halftime, and I didn't want to put him. He was not going to be full speed, and I didn't want to put him back out there at that point. He said he wasn't able to go, but he certainly tried to go. Jacoby, he's tough. I thought he played extremely hard, but he just didn't have any time to throw the football. I mean, none, nor did KJ for that matter. But, we got beat up front, O-line. We gave up a sack by a running back. He gave up a sack on a empty protection, Jacoby himself. So, but we just he never had any time to throw the football, so it'd be hard to judge his performance. But you could say he was tough and very gritty.
As rough as that was, how could that maybe help him? Just that experience, moving forward.
He's he's a competitor, and and he's athletic and things of that nature, and tough. I thought he did a nice job of leading the team. Obviously, in the fourth quarter, he led us down to a couple touchdowns to a nice touchdown pass. But it's really hard to judge him other than his character and his toughness to continue to get up and play.
Yeah, Coach, with Hunter giving you his backing for next year and just trying to generate some momentum going into the offseason, with this performance, how do you generate that going into the offseason?
I don't know. Somebody else.
Coach, I think it must have had another solid day, but I think we had 2 carries in the first half. Would you have liked to get him more involved early on?
Yeah, I thought we would. The problem is when you have reads, when you have quarterback run to run, and when we called a lot of plays to him, but basically what they were doing, they were knifing the end and running the willie out, which is a normal thing for any defense, and so Jacoby was seeing that read taken away from him, so he was, and KJ, and was pulling the ball. So we did have runs called for him, just they were taken away with the read.
I think the CBS broadcast mentioned that you could have an OC as soon as next week. Is that right? And do you have a timeline on when you might like to have an OC hired?
Well, I hope so, because the portal comes open, on Friday. And next Friday. So, obviously with the kids that we have that are committed, I think you want to be right, but you also want to be as fast as you possibly can. You would like to get some guys in here maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, so they could talk to the kids before we need to go out on the road. But I don't know if that's possible or not, but obviously we've been in conversations with several different people.
Speaking of speed, do you expect to have exit interviews pretty quick after this?
Yeah, Trey, we're going to have Monday. We're going to start with those. Obviously, we have a staff team meeting at 4:00 on Monday, but we're going to start talking about with the guys that are +1 that have some type of NFL ranking, and we'll go through there first with those guys.
Starting with the Florida game, it's been a difficult close for the defense. I mean, what has anything you've talked about tackling, but anything else specifically changed, you think?
We've made some mental errors. I mean, we cut the tight end loose twice. and 3rd and 9, and so I don't think we've added and things of that nature, but since and Florida, scored 36, I think too, so it was a tackling issue. I think more today, they were cracking with the wide receiver, and we our replace guy, whether it be the corner or whether it be the safety, we just weren't getting there, and they were getting right outside on the edge, and we weren't handling the edge at defensive end, and they were cracking inside down on first force, and our corners were going to have to make plays, or our safeties, and we never, we did the second half, but really more in the second half we were getting penetration in there to beginning of the second half, but we didn't give our defense any chance then because, we had 2 or 3 turnovers, bam, bam, bam in a row, and they came out and fought, but you can't beat anybody with 5 turnovers, and that's what happened there.
You've spoken about wanting the fight from your team. I'm guessing a little too much fight there in the second quarter, and also wondering if you could share maybe you got the whole team together after the altercation, what the message was after the scuffle.
Just we're not coming off the bench. That's the main thing. If you just keep the guys on the field, the officials can handle all that kind of stuff, but coming off the sideline or having problems when they get on the sideline, obviously the quarterback was hit late, out of bounds, and then their offensive line came in to our bench, and and then we retaliated, and we can't have that. But no, then it went on to the field. I think we got it stopped fairly quick, and all those things. Both Eli and myself and our people, I felt like got it stopped pretty quick. But it just rivalry. It escalated into. On our sideline, I think they had some problems over on theirs as well.
Hey, Sam, so it was 20-0 at halftime. What were you thinking then? Still in the game?
We got the ball back, but we had to do something offensively. We had, I think, 4 first downs in the first half, and one of them was a fumble. After we got 20, 25 yards, whatever it may be. We were thinking about moving the pocket. Continue to do our reads, but not necessarily same side, same side read, maybe away read running back to the other side. In other words, same side reads are here, and they were running the little Willie stun on us, and we were trying to get away from it, go towards the open end side, and then maybe go back to the tight end side, because we felt like that would give us a better chance to either to eat up to the Willie with the tackle or pull it and go back the other side. And that was maybe the major adjustment there. And then we were talking about trying to move the pocket, but then we moved the pocket, and the guy came right through and hit Jacoby, and the ball went up in the air, and we were rolling, which is about as simple as protection as we have.
Would you be inclined to want to keep your entire defensive staff, most of your defensive staff?
Those questions are, hard to answer. Obviously, I'd like to have a little bit more time to evaluate everybody, but those are hard to answer at this point. After we just got our butt kicked, and I need to take some time to figure out exactly what we need to do. Over the entire staff.
Gotcha. How disappointing were all the hits on the quarterback? Because they got a few tonight.
Well, I think we went into the game with over 40 sacks. So we've got to shore up a lot of things. That's our main thing. We've got to get fixed, and very disappointing because we're not giving. We're not getting our wide receivers a chance to, get open and catch the ball, and we're certainly not giving our quarterback those opportunities either. So, we went to empty against Florida, and it worked. And it worked because, in all honesty, I don't think they'd ever seen it, and they weren't ready for it. And then all these other teams have become ready for it. And we've done a decent job last week against FIU, but certainly this week we did not.
Sam, when you're talking about an offensive coordinator, what kind of offense are you want? Are you wanting a tempo or a pro style? I mean, what are you thinking about for next year on offense?
Well, I think you have to find the fit, but you certainly want a guy that brings something special to the university, whether that be what KB did in the past, whether that be a combination of what Kendall did and some pro style stuff. I think we need a guy that really wants to be here and understands Arkansas. But the number one thing is we need somebody that understands how to run the football. And because we have to run the football, in my opinion, to win. And of all the problems that we've had this year, in all honesty, it all stemmed, a bunch of it, because we can't run the football. And so that would be my number one thing, is sitting down and visiting with a man that knows how to run the football.
Kenny gave it a great shot.
Did a great job.
Yeah, do you think he would be willing to stay as a wide receiver coach after?
Well, again, and I appreciate the question, but I just haven't had time to talk with Kenny. I've obviously interviewed him for the offensive coordinator job and those things, but I'm really pleased with what he did as the offensive coordinator. I mean, going and beating Florida and then scoring 44. I think defense scored some 37 last week, and I'm really grateful to him because he worked his butt off and did as good a job as he possibly could do, and I'm thankful for him.
Get your offensive line issues fixed, Sam.
Well, you got to go. You got to go in the portal, and I look back at Auburn coming in here, and I think 4 of their 5 was from the portal, and then I think 7 of their top 8 players, O-linemen, were transfers. There's an opportunity to do that, and we've got to get better with the ones that we have here as well. But you don't have to be a football coach. You can just be that, no, we need help. And so we've got to go address that, and that would be our number one place to address, because without that, you really can't have a lot of success offensively, and with that, you can have a whole bunch of success. Well, we got to get that. We got to get it fixed, and that's nothing negative about the kids we have. We just got to get that one fixed. I think everybody knows that.
You mentioned NIL in the last press conference.
Yeah.
Feeling a lot better about it. I was wondering if you could expand any more on that.
Well,
What you
no,
touched
I
on.
can't, and I wish I could. I can't, but I do feel much better about it. I think we're going to be very competitive there, and I'm really excited about that. Hell, nobody wants to set up here like this. Nobody does. But I'm the head coach. I'm supposed to set up here when that's good and bad. But I think there is a big chance for us to change where we're at 4-8, and I'm excited to have the opportunity to do it. But I am excited about our NIL situation.
Might not have phrased it right at the beginning, but I was just kind of asking about that in terms of the momentum with the program. Is it a big splash hire OC? Is it landing some big studs in the transfer portal? What creates the momentum to turn this program?
Well, I think the first thing is you got to go find an offensive coordinator. One that wants to be here, one that it'd be fun if a guy understood the state, and understood the SEC and all those type things. I will say this, that Arkansas is very well respected by some of the folks that I've been able to talk to, and I feel very, very good that we'll get an offensive coordinator that wants to be here and wants to help lead our program to a lot of great things. But were you talking about the NIL again? No, what were you saying? Just the coordinator. That we need to get in pretty quick. We need to get that. Oh, you're talking about Yeah. Well, what you got to do is you got to get the right coordinator that is going to help us win, and then we've got to start. To be honest with you, Trey, if we just started going, okay, this guy committed, this guy committed, this guy committed, you know what I mean? Just change instead of just nobody commits. Where's our coordinator? All that stuff. Obviously, that's going to fester. But if we can get a coordinator that we believe we can score points, and then go get some starting, honestly, with storing up the offensive line, I think we can get momentum back. You know, we obviously have been invited to three bowl games in the last 4 years. This one right here is a disappointing year. More so, to be honest with you, that there was way, way higher optimism about this year than what it ended up being. And we got to change it. We got to fix it. And but I think you asked me before, too. There's no doubt in my mind I'm the guy that can change it, especially with the opportunities that we've been afforded.
KJ had a social media post today that said, like, one last time, that made it the sense that this is it for him. Do you have that sense that he won't be back?
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. We haven't sat down and spoke about it. I never do until Monday with the guys. So, in all honesty, if he put that out there, that probably means that he's had all the college or all the Arkansas that he wants. I just haven't talked to him about it.
Yes, Sam, Jaheim Thomas, he led you in tackles this year. I think the last 2 games, his playing time kind of dwindled. Could you kind of reveal kind of what's going on there?
Jaheim's done a nice job. He had, obviously had some tackling problems, things of that nature. Not like anybody else. But to be perfectly honest with you, I think Greer just played a little bit better when he was in there, and he played better in practice when he was there. But Jaheim's got a strong future here, but it wasn't injuries or anything like that. It was just, I think, we felt like Greer was playing a little bit better.
And following up on Tom's question, if this is KJ's last game, just how disappointing is it that he goes out with a game like this and, with the injury and that kind of thing?
I imagine it's disappointing. I got 100 of them in there is disappointed too as well, but I imagine it's disappointing. But KJ's had so many great moments here, If he dwells 1 second on a game here that he got hurt on, that's not his legacy at all, and I'm sure he's disappointed that he wasn't able to play the entire game and help his team out. But he's been so valuable to me, our program, over the last 4 years, including the first year when he went up to Missouri and played a really nice game.
And one last one. How confident are you that you'll be able to keep this recruiting class that you have together these last few weeks to the early signing?
I'm very
period?
confident. I'm very confident.